Okay, today we're going to learn about how to identify an insect. Normally, when I do these videos, someone is live drawing them. I just recruit a friend who's amazing and loves me enough to do this, and they will draw out what I'm saying, or I'll draw out what they're saying. So Abril, in the future, I will draw out her segment when she visits. Yeah? But today she's doing mine. Do you want to give a brief info dump on who you are and why you're doing this?
Yes. Okay. My name is Abril. I am Maya's friend for years. Beautiful. Anyways, I'll be doing the drawing of her insect explanation. I'll do my best drawing insects because I study humans. I'm a registered. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Very cool. When I explain human stuff, it's gonna be pretty gnarly, but it'll be good. And I can't spell well, so everything I'm gonna do is gonna be drawing because my spelling is quite trash. But let's begin again. So, phylogenetics. What are insects? Really fast. There's domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, species. Amazing. Domain is the largest group, and that is the eukaryotes. Those are living, multicellular, complex organisms. We are eukaryotic. Totoro would be eukaryotic. Gon would be eukaryotic. I'm pointing at another anime poster. You can't see it, but those anime kids from Dandadan, those would be eukaryotic. So it would be chicken, fish, caviar. Just thinking about food now. Not carrots. Animals, right? Those are eukaryotic. Multicellular, complex organisms, nucleus, shenanigans, mitochondria. I'm losing track. Where are we next? Okay, kingdom. Kingdom, Animalia. We are also Animalia, animals. Everything I listened before was Animalia, so I wasn't actually really helpful at differentiating, but I'll make a list above me, or I'll do something to let you know the difference between the eukaryotic, prokaryotic shenanigans. But yeah, eukaryotic, Animalia, arthropoda if we go another notch down in our triangle, right? And arthropods are going to have a hard exoskeleton, right? They're probably going to be open circulatory system, which means they don't have tubes connecting their blood to your organs. It's just flooded in there. Everything that's in there just bathes in the glow of hemolymph. And then if you were to cook them, which we do, right, and then crack their shell open, it would just be like a gelatinous ball. They would also have organs, but it's just not as intense as we are, where we're like squishy, squishy on the outside and hard, hard on the inside, and then got a whole bunch of poop organs and stuff. Okay, so domain, kingdom, phylum, class. So now we're down to insecta, right? That's what we're looking at because we went from arthropods. Now we're more concentrated, and those are insecta, which are insects, which is what we're looking at. And insecta, hexapoda, if we're going to go to a sub domain, kingdom, class, a subclass. Yeah. And then finally we go into orders, which we're not going to cover today because there are like 30 something different orders of insects. And I'm going to do that section with an entomologist so I do not kill my friends because they'll be both really bored, but also irritated that I made them draw a whole bunch of stuff that they did not understand. So, great. Now let's dive into, if I were to look at an insect, I asked you a question before, but now you already have the answers. So, whatever. Quick, is a spider an insect? No, it is not. Is a millipede an insect?
No.
Is a worm an insect? No, it is not. And that's because they do not fall into the certain categories that insects do. Insects, physically, biologically, have 3 parts of their body, right? They have their... Yes.
Continue.
They have their head... Yeah, I'll just talk. They have their head, thorax, and their abdomen. If we look at just their head... Oh, yeah. Spiders, 8 legs. Boo. No, you gotta be a hexapod. Worms, no legs. Boo. You gotta have 6 legs. Millipedes, okay. Too many legs. Worms, not enough legs. Spiders, a little bit too much, but you got the exoskeleton. We're close, but we're not there yet. when we look at the head of an insect, for instance, an ant, we're going to notice that they have eyes, just like us. But unlike us, their eyes are compound, and that means they look like little waffles. They are taking in a whole bunch of different images. Like if you were to take a photo and then you say enhance, and it goes from this like blurry picture, really like a whole bunch of pixels, into one beautiful, crisp image. That's what insects see. They also see in ultraviolet light wavelengths that we do not. So if they were to look at a flower where we see this like beautiful, colorful thing, it would almost inverse, and the bright becomes dark and the dark becomes bright, and they get this almost bullseye effect on a lot of, pretty much, yeah, like a lot of different plants, which is why we have so many pollinator species. Not why, but it's like work together. It's really cool. So we got compound eyes. We can also have simple eyes. I don't think they're called simple eyes, but I can't remember. And those just detect light. And those are going to be right next to the compound eyes.
It's accurate.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like little dots. And they can detect light, they can detect movement, and they're more common in non-adult stages. Yeah. Those are the eyes. That's how they see and perceive the world. Good for them. The other thing that heads have, what else does a head have, Abril?
The mouth.
They got mouth parts. And this gets a bit complex, but we wrote everything down already. A lot easier for me. They have labrums, and you can think of those as if like you just like a lip. It's just a lip. It's on the top. Across different species and orders of insects, the labrums tend to be just kind of small. Mandibles, however, come in all different shapes and sizes. They can be really huge and scary, like pinchers. If you are a chrysalid, which means they're breaking up a lot of vegetation in the environment, or you're a predator and you need to grab onto something, gnaw it down and rip it off. Or they can be really small and just like little thingies, or like long tentacles, depending on what you're trying to do. Mandibles, great example. Ants, praying mantids. Yes, that's an ant. It's really good. Mandibular papules, those can be, think of it like fingers on the side of its face, and it's like this. That made me dizzy. Yes, well, those are mandibles. And then they can have little tentacles on the side, and those are mandibular papules. Very cool. And then you can have modified maxillae. Maxillae? Yeah. And those can turn into a long siphon. And
like this?
Yes, that is exactly it.
Yes.
So she has two images there. The one on the right, I don't know which, the one in the flower is an extended proboscis. And that is an extended maxillae, right? And then, because it's not rigid, they can fold that back up to look like the maxillae that looks like a snail shell, right? And that's how you can know that that insect is not piercing anything. It's just using that like those fun, when you go to a party and you go, whoosh, and it goes,
yeah.
What is that?
Those are like the little birthday, what they're called.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Those, that's essentially what it is, right? But that's just a modified mouth part. And then if you go to, sap suckers. So those are going to be I said aphids before, true bugs, the triangle with the head on it, right? They are going to have this hard modified labrum. No, labium. Labella. I'll fix it. I don't quite remember anymore. Let's see. Labrums? Do I have it? Labium, yeah. So they're going to have a modified labium, which is kind of scleroterized. It's kind of hard. Mm-hmm. So think of that like it's an actual straw that people use. Not the fun things that like go out and in, but like not a snap bracelet. So it's just a hard straw. And if you like, you know, when you use a straw too much and it bends, and you can't use it anymore, that's what would happen. with that modified straw if you are a sapsucker, because you are piercing an object and then you are then folding it into your chest. So they got this little like cleavage cavity, and that's where their nose will go or their mouth part will go. And that's how you can tell the difference between a sapsucker or a straw siphoner or something that's going to be like actively nomming to eat the food. Yeah. So eyes, mouth, ears? No. Oh, yeah, last time I messed up. Antenna. So because they have compound eyes and they don't necessarily have really good noses, they use their antennae to taste, see, feel, kind of the whole shebang. And antennas, again, like I need to put my arms down, all other mouth stuffs that I've talked about are really variable. So if you look at the top, yeah, great. So those antennae are genitive. No, Gillen said it before, but now I'm reading the notes on the board and I can't do it. Geniculate. So geniculate antennae are elbowed antennae, and you can think of them as literally being your arm and then your elbow, and then you can go touch stuff with your hands and be like, are you a friend? And if you're not a friend, then you're going to tell all your friends that, and then they're going to go fight that person. But if you are a friend, you're going to just maybe throw up into their mouth, which is actually really kind because you're hungry. Yeah. And you'll also have filamentous antennae, and those ones are really long, like this, and then they just kind of free move. Yeah, and those are going to be your cockroaches. Those are going to be some, maybe some beetles. It's insects that are traversing their environment and just really want to know what's going on. They don't want to get close. They want to keep their distance. Healthy, right? And then you have artistate, arcidae. You have artistate, and aristate antennae are usually found on Diptera. Boop. And Diptera are going to be your flies, and they really just like fly around, land on something, doot, 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 want to know what it is really fast, and then they want to eat it. Yeah. So really simple. Also, flies can also have like a saw mouth. So it looks like a sponge, and then it has a whole bunch of teeth-ish, serrated edges. And those are your, if you've been bitten by a horsefly, yeah, so they're finding you, grabbing a chunk, and then flying away.
Is it number 4?
Those are serrate, and you can think of it just because they look serrated. And again, like those are more general. A lot of different insects have those. But then plumose, which is the one on the bottom, is going to be your very fluffy, feathery antenna, and those are going to be insects that are maybe honing in for their prey, or they're homing in for a mate. So if you're looking for a prey item or a blood meal, you're probably going to be a mosquito, and you're just, like, dang, that smells good, and you're going to fly towards it, wafting it in like Pepe Le Pew. Okay, those are a few different types of antennae for a few different types of insects. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're done with the head. Looked at the head. Great. Now, let's go to the thorax.
Thorax.
So the thorax is the chest of the insect, right? And on the side of these insects' bodies, they have their spiracles, because unlike humans or other mammals or reptiles, whatever, they don't have lungs, right? We're passively, but actively inhale, exhale. I'm having to use muscles. My body's very bendy, right? I can do all of these things. Whereas an insect that has an exoskeleton, it's not going to be able to expand and contrast like that. So they're going to need a passive way to get oxygen into their body, and those are spiracles. And spiracles, again, are just holes like the tympanum. Did we do ears yet, right?
The tympanum.
Great.
Yeah.
So just like the tympanum, are just holes on the sides of their bodies normally that air will flow into. The oxygen will then hit the tissue that is connected to all of the different organs in the body, and they are going to then just absorb all the oxygen into the hemolymph. The hemolymph again is bathing all their organs, and they're just going to be able to breathe, right? And that's a part like of why insects can grow to certain sizes, besides that their bodies would fall apart. Like Ant-Man wouldn't work because if an ant got that big, its head and its butt would fall off. But just doesn't work. Shoot, I segued and I didn't want to. Yeah, so the amount of oxygen in the environment is very integral to the amount of oxygen that can just be in their blood, because they don't circulate it; it's just passively circulated. More oxygen, larger insects, but only to a certain size. Same with other arthropod species. Really cool. That's why we had megafauna in the dinosaur times. Yeah. Nom 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 nom. Okay. Ooh, legs. That's fun. Okay. Do you want to try explain anything? Because we already did it.
Well, that's all.
One of the legs? Okay.
Drawer.
So we have a salatorial, right? And those are going to be your jumping legs. So they're going to be really strong on the top, the femur, and then they're going to have their tibia, fibia nonsense, tibial spurs, and they're going to be able to push off their feet and then jump a far distance, maybe open their wings and go like flap, 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 I'm free. Or, yeah, I really want that mate. That's it. They just jump. It's nice. Then you have notarial legs. Notarial are legs that are able to perch on water and not break that barrier so they don't fall all the way down. And so you can think of those like a water strider. There's a lot of water insects though who will like push around in the water, and those wouldn't be the ones that would sit on the top. Those would literally just like push them around in there. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but it's just legs for water. And then you have cursorial, and that just means they can run really, really fast. And those would be your mainly traversing insects. So your ants, your cockroaches. I think that's all I used as my examples last time, but you know what else? Butterflies. They don't need to move a lot. They can have very weak legs. Yes. And then you have fossorial legs. Fossorials are not as common, but they are there because a lot of insects have nymph instars that bury into the ground. And so they're going to be really buff. And then they're going to have like little paws at the end. And then they're going to be able to use their legs to just, looks really creepy. But this is what they're going to do. And that's going to get them into the ground. Gross. Yeah. You guys should look up camel crickets and then digger crickets. They're all weird looking, but they're super cool and you can eat them. Now, raptorial. Raptorial are really awesome. They look like that. And you're going to use those in predatory insects, things that need to grab things and hold on so that they can eat them. So you can think of it like a praying mantid, or even you know, when you grab a...
Continue.
You know, if you need to grab something and you need to eat it, you're going to use your hands and you're going to hold it and then you're going to bite on into it. That's how you can think about it. That's what they're doing. They're not slicing and dicing because it probably would break off their arms. Yeah, right? Because
this one's my...
The raptorial?
Yeah.
So interesting.
This is really cool looking.
It is. It's very cool looking. So we went through legs. We did head, eyes, nose, lungs. Oh, now we're at the butt. We have magic school bust our way to the anus. So let's begin. Didn't go into guts. I'm not going to go into guts. That'll be its own thing because a lot of different insects have really cool modified guts. So we're just going to say, for the sake of sanity, goes into their mouths, which we talked about, goes into their foregut, their midgut, and their hindgut, and it gets pooped out. Yeah? Yeah. So, an important thing to know, though, is that they have these organs which are keeping all the liquid in, all the nutrients in, but you're getting out all the crap. So you can think of it kind of like, I said loop of Henle, but unless you're in that, that's not helpful. What do you think I could say for this? Like a
I get loop of.
Yeah, I know you do, but
We'll think about it.
okay, we'll think about it. I'll put something up above us and I'll explain in fast detail about what this is. I'm guessing. Great. And so at this point, you have a butthole. And what comes out of that is frass. So instead of feces, scat, it's called frass for insects. And you can use frass in gardening. You can use frass in gardening. That's really it. You really just use frass as a way to add some nutrients to your system. I think the way that it is in your garden, it also allows for a lot of water to pass through because it's not very clayey. Clay sticks together, water can't penetrate. You get a lot of organic nutrients. You get a lot of holes in your soil, so it's aerated. Really cool. That's what it is. Most important part for an insect's life, because I think this is what they live for, is your reproductive organs. Yeah, insects, again, like I said, can be born with no mouth parts because their only point in life is to reproduce. So they just starve to death. Yeah, it's pretty harsh. Yeah. I'm gonna do a whole video on mating too, and I think I will make Kevin do that with me as well. But reproductive organs, you have your adyagus, and that is the term for a insect's penis. And those will range in function and size and whatever, depending on the species. But a lot of insects will just deliver a sperm packet on the floor or wherever, and then the female will go over and just ingest it, either through... Yeah, isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some of them literally will make a sperm packet, which is full of protein, and also their gametes, and they will nom 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 it, like they could eat part of it, or they can just sit on it and it'll passively enter their ovipositor. Yeah, it's super cool. Some can even hang on to sperm and then use it when they want to, which I think is really awesome. And there's a lot of very matriarchal aspects of insects, which is why I think I liked it so much, because I'm a big nerd in that regard. And you'd think that the people who worked in it would be cooler too, but we're not. Yeah. So we have our reproductive organs. The last one that segues from making babies to the actual babies are just the 3 different life cycles. On the final page. Great.
Okay.
So, holometabolous. That means they have multiple life stages that look different. The example we gave before is the butterfly. It goes from an egg to a caterpillar, which looks like a tube, to a chrysalis, which is where it's changing and becoming itself, and then its adult form. By the way, did you know that butterflies will mate with the chrysalises? And sometimes it kills them.
What? I never heard of that before.
It's harsh. Butterflies are actually like very rude. Yeah, butterflies are pretty rude. But anyway, good example. You also have hemimetabolous. Rude.
Continue.
You have hemimetabolous insects, which only change a little bit. So a great example of that are your grasshoppers. And so they're going to be born from an egg, and then they're going to look the same, but just grow to their final size, which maybe has a different wings, maybe different colors, maybe slight differences in their mouth parts. I don't know, stuff like that. And then you have ametabolous, which is they have no change. Born, die, looking the same. Maybe they change in size, which they have to. They do change in size. And those are your silverfish. You know what they are? They look like a bean with with 6 legs, and they're silver, and they look very, very segmented. Yeah. I had this question for the one viewer. Maybe I know you. Let's see who you are. Nope, it's me. I have one viewer. If you would like to answer, up to you. Feel free to enter yourself into the chat. If not, she already answered this, so you just saw the answer. So maybe.
Shit, I was trying to hide it.
Okay. Now, your professor, who is me at this moment, asks you to go into the forest, and they say, "Can you please pick up an insect and bring it to class?" And you stumble upon a, let's say, tarantula. There we go. This is different. A millipede. Yeah. Tarantula. Millipede. A worm. And a ooh. 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 Oh. And a scarab beetle.
Scarab beetle?
Scarab? Oh, do you know what that is?
Mm.
Shoot. Okay, how about a ladybug? Yeah. Now you have to choose the insects in the group. Which one would they be? Yes. Last time I was so genuinely excited, but this time I'm like, we've done this like twice. It's a ladybug! Yeah, the ladybug is the true insect. Tarantula has 8 legs, automatically out. Millipedes, thousands of legs is like the name, but automatically out. Worm, no legs, no antenna, no mouth parts. No, they have mouth parts, but not the same type, right? So those are all out. So the ladybug has 6 legs. It has antenna. It has compound eyes. It has 3 body segments. It has whatever an adiagus or an ovipositor. It's perfect.
Yay.
Yeah. So great job. You did it. Yeah. Okay, viewer. If you want to follow me, look me up. MVPmo. It's great having you in here. I'm going to be doing one of these videos bi-weekly. If you already follow me and you're just here, but you're not saying hi, that's okay. I already know you. I'll say hi to you, possibly in the real world. Not sure. Oh, yeah, go for it. What is beautiful?
Oh, okay.
Wow. Great job. Great job, team. Bye. Ants are females. Bug's life is a lie. I didn't like that.